I have something that I want to share with you this week. And I know that every one of us, we wake up on Monday morning and we want to have a good week, a week of breakthroughs. Listen to what Paul tells the Corinthians in 2 Corinthians chapter 6. He tells them this. He says, as God's fellow workers, we urge you not to receive God's grace in vain. For he says, in the time of my favor, I heard you, and in the day of salvation, I helped you. I tell you, now is the time of God's favor. Now is the day of salvation. Paul is trying to remind the Corinthians not to take God's grace in vain. And listen, if you and I, if we want to have a week of breakthroughs, we want to have a week that, man, we are just enjoying our walk with the Lord, then we got to remember God's grace upon our lives. You know that it's only because of the Lord that we are who we are. It's only because of God that we're no longer the same person that we used to be. Many of us came from, horrific lifestyles, but because of God's mercy and because of God's grace upon our lives, we are changed people today. And if we can take this time this week, if we can take this week as we walk into what's considered Holy Week and we prepare ourselves for Good Friday and we get ready for Sunday, Resurrection Sunday, the day that Jesus overcame death, as we prepare ourselves for this, let's take a moment, let's take this week to look back and realize that it's only because of God's mercy and God's grace upon our lives. And I'll tell you something right now. Listen, as you're listening to me right now, just remember Jesus. Remember the Lord this week. And you're going to have a prosperous week. Take it, apply it to your life, and I guarantee you it'll bring change upon your life. It's going to bring an attitude of gratitude. I hope you had a good time. We'll see you next week.
My God's not dead, he's surely alive. He's living.